Also, I have a new pen that I'm trying to use, so you just might have to bear with me. All right, so a translation is a slide. What that means is you're just taking this original picture, this black quadrilateral ABCD, and you're sliding it. So we're sliding it 4 to the right and 2 down to get a new picture. That's really all you're doing. So the image is the new picture. So the blue one is the image. Notice they got little apostrophes. Those are called primes. Okay, so the pre-image is the original. So anytime you see something asking you for the image, they're asking you for the new picture. The pre-image is the original. So ABCD, this black one is the original, and then the pre-image, and then the blue one with the primes, that is going to be your answer, your image. So this big fat paragraph here, this is just kind of giving you some notation. Since we moved each dot, so if you kind of look at it like that, this dot right here, B, I moved it I can't do it. 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's rough, sorry. 4, so I moved this dot B 4 to the right, and then I moved it 1, 2 down. So that's where they're getting the 4 to the right and 2 down. You can do that with each dot. C is moved 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 1, 2 down. D is moved 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 2 down. So every single dot is the same direction. So all 4 of them go 4 to the right and 2 down. So the way you write it is like this right here with this T. This capital T stands for translation. And then they have, instead of parentheses, they have these little pointy brackets here and here. So this is kind of like a subscript. So it's little, like an exponent is little, but up here, a subscript is little, but it's down there. So this is all small writing. And the 4 means it's going to be positive 4, so it's to the right. And the negative 2 is in the Y position. So just like a coordinate, X and Y. So we're moving it positive 4 on the X, negative 2 on the Y. And sometimes they write it like this in parentheses. Either way you see it, both of these mean the same thing, okay? So if you have the X plus 4, comma, Y minus 2, this still says positive 4 on the X minus, or negative 2 on the Y. So that's kind of what everything's, that's the notation for it. So if we get to some of the problems, it says finding the image of a translation. So they give you this right here. And what that's going to do is that's going to tell me to move it right here, is going to tell me to move it left. I'm going to have to go to the other pen. I don't like this one. And then this is going to have to move it to down. Okay, so I've got negative 2, which means left 2, and then the down, the minus 5, which means down 5. So every single dot over here, I'm going to start with the R. So with this, I'm going to be moving it left 2, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be my new picture, which we'll call R prime. You got to use its apostrophes with it. Same thing with Q. So I'm going to go left 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be my Q prime. Finally, P, left 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I don't have the entire picture for that. Okay, so it says graph the image. So this is really all you had to do. So all you had to do was just graph those 3 dots. Sometimes they're going to ask you for the coordinates. So if they ask you for the coordinates, just make sure you do R prime, and then you have to do that coordinate. So that coordinate looks like it's -3, -2. I'll double check. Yes. So -3, -2 for R prime. And then for Q prime, you're going to have 1, -2. And then for P prime, it looks like, what did we do? We went over 1, 2, and then 1, 2. So that's -1, -2, -3, -4. So I'm going to have 0, -4 for my P prime. Okay? So either they tell you to graph it and you graph it, or they tell you to give the coordinates and you write the coordinates. Either way, whichever they asked for. In this case, they asked you to graph, so they wanted the graph. Okay, now in the next one, this one asks you for the vertices. So you just got to pay attention to direction. So you either got to write the coordinates or you got to graph it. Now the graphing might help you. So obviously you might want to graph to see if it helps. So with this, we need to figure out what these mean. This means we're going to go to the right one And this means we're going to be going down 4. So every single dot is going to go right 1 and down 4. So A is right 1 and down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. B is right 1 and down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that means they want the vertices. So you can use the graph to help you, but A prime is going to be -1, -2. Okay, and then B prime, and I will want to see those primes in there, so make sure you put them. B prime is going to be 2, -3. And then C prime, whoops, let me undo that. Okay, and then C prime, I'm going to be going to the right 1 and then down 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be at -5. So 1, -5 for your C prime. Okay, sorry about my pen. Apparently I need to. Okay, so writing a rule, sorry about that. So writing a rule for this, that just means they want you to go backwards. They give you the pre-image, the original one, and the way to tell if you don't have color is you look for the regular letters. So the regular letters is the original or the pre-image. The ones with the apostrophes or the prime, that's the new picture. So you 100% make sure that you start with the regular letter. So you just pick one. It doesn't matter which of those letters that I pick, just as long as I pick one of them. So I'm going to start from P and I'm going to go to P prime. So if I start from P, I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I went 8 right and I went 2 down. So if I'm going to go 8 right, that means it's going to be an 8 right there. And 2 down means it's got to be a -2. Okay, this is fine for me. Also, if you like to do this, it would be x plus 8. Oops. It would be x plus 8 and y minus 2. So I don't care which notation you use. Either one is fine with me. Just make sure you understand and know both of them in case they give them to you. So that's your answer for that one. That's all they want. If they graph it for you and they ask you the rule, when you see the word rule right there, this is what they're talking about for the rule. Okay, last one. Told you it was easy today. Translation, here's my one right here. This time they actually gave you a dot. Now for this, I'm just going to pick one of them and graph it. So I'm just going to take L prime and I'm going to try to see where that is. So it says 1, -2. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to use Miss Hink's thing from now on. Sorry about today, guys. So if it's at 1, -2, that's going to be right here. My pen, please. So then all you have to do is you just have to say we went from L to L prime. This is L prime. Don't worry about the other ones. It's going to be the same distance anyway. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right and 1 down. So if you do that, that's going to be 5 to the right and 1 down. Just make sure that you go left and right first because that's the X, and up and down second because that's the Y. Okay, that's acceptable. Also, if you do this, this is also acceptable.